I just picked up a red line monocog for only $299, and this is seriously one of the most exciting bike purchases I've ever made. I took it to the guys at Adventure Cycling to get new brakes put on, and the conversation we had brought a light to something that I think needs to be talked about more. So I was wondering, why don't they have bike shops in a mall? Look at all this foot traffic. Imagine how many people would be interested in checking out a bike, just walking past somewhere that sold bikes. And I've never really thought of this because when you go into a mall, you think of just clothes and stuff, but it's all consumer goods. Because take me for example, I went into Sierra Trading Post looking for clothes and I come out with a bike. Now imagine if you had bikes available in a place like this with this much foot traffic. Now I know it's not as easy as it sounds, but in order to grow, you got to put more bikes in front of more eyes. And I think more people would be interested in buying bikes if they were more accessible as far as easy to find. Because in order to buy a bike nowadays, you got to go to a bike shop. So I think the bike industry is making it harder because you have to seek out buying bikes instead of companies putting the bikes right in your face. Take a look at some of these stores where you can get hands-on. I guarantee you people are buying things that they had no intentions of buying. And if you have some quality $400 to $500 bikes with the ability to try them out, people would definitely be interested. There's thousands of people, but there's no bikes to be found. All right, the last few days, some things have happened that's really given me some perspective on the whole bike industry. This being one of them. So seeing as I look at stuff from the customer standpoint, not just the rider standpoint, it's got me thinking about a lot of things. And one of those things is I think the bike industry is just not trying hard enough, or they just don't really care, in my opinion. Because everybody I talk to about this bike and just about bikes in general, it's all basic same consensus where everybody loves bikes.
Oh, I would say definitely it's the way to go, and I would definitely go and buy one.
I noticed when you first got on the bike, you had a smile right on your face initially. Where did that smile come from? What made you so happy when you got on that bike?
I know at this age we got to keep moving, and I just felt free. It was wonderful. Get back on a bike.
But the one thing I've noticed is that none of these companies seem to care about putting the product in front of other people that are not in the bike industry already. Now, I was just at the mall, and this is what really made me think. If you go to the mall, other than somewhere like Dick's Sporting Goods, you don't see anything bike related. And I was wondering why that is. Now, let's think about this. You got so many families, kids, mothers, fathers. So let's say you got them walking in the mall and stuff, and they come across a bike like this or something else. Fathers, they don't like to be in the mall anyway. They just ready to get out of there. So to have a bike place in there or somewhere to look at bikes, that would draw some interest, I'm sure. And I guarantee you, if you had stuff like this or anything else in there that was quality and just easy to ride like this, it would be so easy to sell. Now, I was just in Sierra Trading Post a few days ago. I went in there to shop for clothes. I come out with a bike. And you think all those hundreds and maybe thousands of people wouldn't be interested in doing the same thing? So my thing is, I just don't think these companies are trying hard enough to get in front of people. They expect the bikes to sell themselves, and unfortunately, that's just not the way it is. People don't look at bikes as necessities. They look at them more as hobbies and toys. But if you put it in front of somebody where they don't have to go searching for it, such as a bike shop or anything like that, they're more inclined to pick up a bike. And I think that's where the issue lies. You have to go seek out bikes, go to a bike shop, go somewhere where they specifically sell bikes. This is not like selling a car. You can't sell bikes like it's a car dealership. You gotta put bikes in front of people because this is a consumer product. This is something that somebody either buys out of impulse or they see it and they're like, oh, I'm kind of interested in bikes and I never thought about actually getting a bike, but because it's right here in front of me, I might as well just get the bike. They didn't have to go out of their way. It was already there in front of them while they were doing what they were gonna do anyway. Now, I know a lot of you don't like department store bikes, but hear me out. You see Walmart bikes everywhere, right? Huffy, Mongoose, things like that. And I'm wondering, have you ever thought about why that is? Because this is a consumer product. People go into Walmart, people go into department stores shopping for other things, and then they see a bike that's not super expensive, and they say, why not? Let's just get a bike. I've wanted a bike. Maybe their kid wanted a bike as well. So they walk out of there with one or two bikes. But who goes specifically to a bike shop? People who are already in the bike industry that have been riding for a while. And I think that's the only people that these companies sell to. And I don't know if it's pride or what. And I'm not saying I condone department store bikes because there's a lot of junk out there. I think disposable bikes do more harm than good. But there are a lot of quality bikes out there, such as this, that you can find in department stores. And I'm not saying bigger companies should go into department stores, but I do think they should go into places like malls, strip malls, or something like that, where you can get a lot of foot traffic and get a lot of more eyeballs on bikes that people would normally go look for, but because it's in front of them, they become interested. So I think there's innovative ways to grow, but I think if these companies don't start trying to sell outside of the bike community, it's gonna be rough. And people get mad at the Walmart bikes and stuff, but why do you think Walmart can't keep the Ozark Trails in stock? Because a lot of people shop in Walmart, which means a lot of people know about Walmart, and then when they see a decent bike in Walmart, they say, oh man, they got good bikes, decent bikes in there now, I want to buy it. So it's not that they love Walmart bikes or I love Walmart bikes, it's just you get a quality product now at a cheaper price in a place where a lot of people shop anyway. So after picking this bike up, it really opens my eyes to a lot of what's going on. Look what I got for $299 in a place where you would never go looking for a bike. I just think there's ways to grow the industry, but these companies just got to spend more money. The money they spend on new technology and all that, which nobody cares about, not the average person, not even me. This is the most exciting bike purchase I've had in a couple years now. This is so, I can't explain how excited I am to ride this. But my thing is, why don't they put that into marketing or just trying to find innovative ways to reach people outside of the bike community? Just imagine if you had a pop-up shop somewhere in a huge mall or something like that with tons of foot traffic, how many people would come up and want to check out the bikes? Maybe if you had a little track people could ride around, that would be awesome. I know a lot of people get mad at me about this stuff, but I'm just being realistic about the situation. You can't just keep expecting people to come to you. Sometimes you gotta go to the customer. I just think it's at a point now where it's just too many brands and somebody has to do something as far as innovation. Imagine if the mall I went to today, a bike shop or a bike brand was in there and they had like one person doing service or something and one person on the sales floor. I just think there's ways. You just gotta get in front of people who don't know they want bikes. People want bikes, they just don't know they want them, and you got to put it in front of them to show them that they want them. I'm not the biggest business person, but me looking at it as from a customer's perspective, if I'm walking through a mall and I see a bike or something nostalgic where I'm like, oh, I used to ride that as a kid, or that bike looks cool, I want to check it out. You could ride it around a track or something. I mean, I'm not saying this is easy. This costs money, but sometimes you got to spend money to make money. And I think that's where the bike industry is now. I think the bike industry has to try harder with marketing and really get in front of people who don't know they want bikes, and you have to show them they want bikes. When is the last time you saw a bike commercial? Probably it's been years. I haven't seen a bike commercial in I don't know how long. Now, a lot of these companies do advertise on Instagram, but that's free advertising. You're just posting and showing the same stuff to the same people. You can only go so far with that. So I think the best way, in my opinion, as a customer, is to get in front of eyeballs that have never seen it and persuading them or getting them to realize how fun and how much of an advantage to just exercise, mental health, and everything it is to have a bike.